There comes a moment in many relationships, especially for good-hearted people, when something inside quietly says, I can't keep doing this. Not because you've stopped loving, not because you're a cruel, mean-spirited person, but because you've been the patient one, the understanding one, the one who regulates, explains, forgives, absorbs the stress. And eventually, even the most generous person gets tired. If that's where you are, I want to say this clearly right from the start. Getting tired does not mean you're failing or you're weak or you lack character. It means you've reached a decision point. Now, before we go further, quick pause. If this conversation resonates, please like this video and subscribe. That helps this message reach other women who are also quietly standing at the crossroads. And if you want support walking this path with clarity and steadiness, you'll find links below to our Detox Your Marriage school community and to a 15-minute quick start phone call. All right, let's talk about what's really happening in your relationship. You see, good-hearted people don't enter into relationships trying to control or dominate. They enter trying to understand, smooth things over, keep the peace, and reasonably expect a fair, balanced, reciprocal relationship. And in the beginning, this often works. But when you're in a relationship with someone who does not reciprocate in the important ways, like emotional responsibility, then something subtle happens over time. You become the emotional regulator, the translator, the one who apologizes first to break the impasse, the one who does the relational heavy lifting. And your goodness slowly turns into overfunctioning. And here's the truth. What begins as love ends up as self-abandonment when it's one-sided like that. Your nervous system knows this long before your mind clues in. See, fatigue is not weakness. Fatigue is useful information about you and about the relationship. When that good-hearted person reaches this point of exhaustion, usually there's three paths available and we're only conscious of two of them. So path one is going hard-hearted and resentful. This is the path that many people slide unconsciously and unknowingly into. You stay in the relationship, but your heart closes. You become sharper, colder, maybe sarcastic, withdrawn. You're protecting yourself by numbing or resenting. And while this may reduce the pain in the short term, it slowly erodes who you are. You're no longer who you want to be. You're surviving, but at the cost of your softness. So that's path one. Path two, well, just leave. Like I'm sure your friends and family have been telling you. And for some, leaving is the right and the necessary choice. Leaving can be an act of self-respect, a reclaiming of dignity, a boundary that could not be maintained. And there's no shame in this path. In fact, in our coaching, sometimes we're helping women with the exit. But it's not the only path. And for many women, it's not immediately available or desired, or it's just not the best. And so let's talk about the third hidden path. This one requires maturity, full disclosure, courage, and internal work. And it's the path of guarding your heart above all else. You may have read that somewhere. It's not hardening it. It's not giving out away indiscriminately, but it's guarding it. This path says, I will no longer betray myself to keep the peace. I'm no longer going to emotionally bleed internally in the interest of harmony. I'm going to protect my emotional life but not by being cruel or cold. So this is not passive. It's not weak. It is a shift from pleasing to presence. And so let's unpack what that means. Because it does not mean escalating conflict. It means you're going to stop over-explaining. You're going to stop chasing understanding. If I can just get through to him and help him to understand, then everything will be better. No, it won't. You're going to stop managing his emotions, and you're going to stop arguing with the distortion that he throws at you. Instead, you're going to anchor into calm clarity. This is a piece of work because this requires nervous system regulation, which is something that is hard to achieve on your own. That's why our coaching is so appreciated and so valued, because we create that when we're working with women. The effect is calmness in the midst of chaos. So your responses are slower and mindful. Your energy is grounded. And here's the paradox. When you stop trying to change the relationship, it forces the relationship to reorganize around you. Not because you're forcing it, but because your steadiness changes the emotional field. This is what some traditions call high frequency. It's when your emotions are what we traditionally call positive emotions: love, gratitude, appreciation, joy. That has a nervous system signature attached to it, and that broadcasts and that changes relationships. In clinical terms, we call this nervous system leadership. You're no longer reacting, you're actually setting the tone. And here's what happens. When a good-hearted woman guards her heart, like I'm describing, she becomes less vulnerable to manipulation, less available for the emotional chaos, and of course less willing to self-abandon. And so one of two things is going to happen. Either the other person adjusts. That's what we find most frequently. He adjusts because he unconsciously recognized the old patterns are no longer working. Or she gains deep clarity about what is and what will not change. But in either case, she wins herself back. This path preserves your tenderness and your boundaries. So you don't become smaller, you don't become bitter, you become rooted and grounded. So if you're tired of being the good one, I want you to hear this. You are not meant, you are never meant to burn yourself out or burn yourself alive to keep someone else warm. You could say that too. You don't have to become resentful. You don't have to leave in a reactive panic. There's a third way. Guard your heart, stabilize your nervous system, and lead with calm authority. If you'd like help and support walking this path, join us in the free Detox Your Marriage School community. Link is down below, where there's hundreds of women that are practicing this work together and making gains, making strides. Or if you're ready to kind of move the needle more, schedule a 15-minute quick start call with us so that we can help you identify your next grounded step. Again, before you go, please like and subscribe. If you're willing, share a comment in the comment section. What path do you feel pulled towards right now? Your honesty in the comment section may give another woman permission to choose herself without losing her heart. Please remember, you're allowed to protect yourself. You're allowed to remain good-hearted, and you don't have to be consumed by this relationship.